Hello, everyone, and welcome to What If Gaming Episode 3. What if we got Titanfall BR instead of Apex Legends? To discuss that with me, Reaper PC, is below Data's Venom, my usual co host, who currently is cam free, so he's the disembodied
Yep,
voice. And
absolutely.
next to me, you see a bunch of gameplay that is a guest who's been on the show before, Abvex, showing off Titanfall 2, who's currently shooting and not saying hello to
Hey,
you.
hello. Oh, yep.
All right. So, little bit of background on this what if scenario, right? Titanfall 2 had come out when it came out, and it was enjoyed by those that got it, but it wasn't the big smash hit that some thought it would be. But it still sold. So we hear they're working on another game, and it might be a BR. Those of us who are Titan fans were immediately thinking, this running gun, you can call in a Titan, and now in this battle royale match, you have these giant stompy robots with guns on them. This will be amazing. Then
Yeah.
2019 hits. And what we get instead is this kind of cell shaded cartoony version with much of the same gun mechanics, but the zip lining and jetpack mechanics are gone. And there are no Titans. And this thing is called Apex Legends, quote unquote, set in the same universe. Needless to say, those of us that were Titanfall fans were not pleased. As you can see, the motion that Abex is pulling off here, aim at the top of a building, use zip line, get up. You can't do this in Apex Legends with everyone. Some characters have special movement abilities that literally add back in what everyone should be capable of, but this isn't a universal standard. Um,
And I am quite rusty. I just installed this after but you can.
yeah.
So here's a question.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, you're rusty. You got this day one, day two. I mean, but you're also a Titanfall player. You played the original,
Yeah, I
right?
played a lot of the beta, um, and then played the second one. This I'm doing. How do I describe this game mode? This is like tower defense. So basically, that blue thing, this beam of light, is my. I'll show it real quick, even though it will fail. By the way, FYI, this is on easy. That's why. Otherwise, this would have taken a lot more damage. So I have to stop the guys who are bombing it. And eventually, every wave, it gets worse and worse, or harder and harder.
Right.
You unlock your Titan eventually, and then you go and uh, uh, fight other Titans that comes gets it.
Okay. And when you say Titans, because right now I'm seeing what would be the Apex mode, right? Like, oh, this is just a person,
But now you see me trying to unlock the Titan. You
right?
start out as pilot. You don't have enough resource to get to a Titan yet,
Uh huh. Okay. Now,
and yeah.
so
So
and
in
I don't.
yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead. Because I
So I
mean,
was gonna say
how many
like
people?
in a COD reference or Modern Warfare or war zones. I don't know what they're calling that. But anyway, the reference for them would be when you unlock the drone or the
Kill streak.
whatever kill streak. Yeah, this game has that, but this game doesn't really. Your kill streak is your fucking Titan. That thing comes down, you piss on everybody.
I mean, in an Apex
That's
reference, this
yeah,
is kind of your ultimate. Each Ape
Right.
legend
yeah.
has their one ability.
And it's not temporary Titan. You keep that until it dies. Like this is not some. Oh, you get it for 30 seconds.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, here's the question. Also, so you get your Titan, and you're in it. Stomp, big stompy robot. How many Titans are there exactly?
In the second game, I I want to say at least 8 or 9.
Right,
Each one have a different class. Some are heavy, some are like heavy juggernauts, some are light. They move faster. There's a glass
right.
cannon one. He's super light, but he has a sort of a giant sniper, really. And then there's also medium class titans.
Right. Okay. So in Apex Legends, I'm trying to figure out like big map, big, huge old map where people would have, or even still, people would have Titans, or a continuation of this game where in BR mode you have Titans, you can get your kill streak if you will through a chest, buy it, do uh, fights. At the same time, I'm still wondering like why they didn't continue with this.
Oh,
And
do you want their stated reason?
we could hear it, but yeah, sure, that would be nice to hear.
So a dev was interviewed. I don't remember the name of the dev, but I do remember hearing the statement and it stuck in my head, right?
And when was this interview?
This is going to have to be close to the post launch of the game when people were asking questions. So it came out 2019. It was successful. It kept gaining in popularity, right? This is the whole BR movement. Everything was a BR into like what was it 2019 into 2021. Everyone was trying to do a BR. They're trying to capture the magic of PUBG into Fortnite into everyone was trying to get that lightning in a bottle of their own. And
Yeah,
Warzone, let's not forget Warzone was also a
right.
smash hit. Um so they interviewed the dev and they're like, how did this turn in from, because you were developing Titanfall BR from what we heard, how did this turn into what came out? And he's like, oh, it was very much either Titanfall 3 or this BR we had started to do. Literally, it was Titanfall 2 with a larger map. He's like, if you look at the original launch files, there's stuff for Titans in there. It's just all disabled. In playtesting, in their playtesting, play balancing the Titans on the map were a problem, and also if you notice the movement Avex is capable of with the zip line and the jetpack jumps, that was also
Yeah.
problematic. He said in playtesting because some people didn't like the fact that it felt like they could get shot from any and all directions.
What?
Yeah, he's.
Okay, first of all,
Mm,
what you're saying doesn't compute with what people do in Apex.
yeah.
Because I've seen movement, which was like super tricky, where people can shoot you every which way they
Mm-hmm.
could possibly think of.
So I think what happened there, right, is we're used to seeing good players kind of start to pull off that movement without the zip line and the
Yeah.
jetpacks, of course, right?
Yeah.
But they would get skill balanced with other good players capable of that. Players who are casuals or just not that good, it'd pretty much be a ground game, 1-to-1, almost
Yeah.
standing still with a little bit of strafing fights. So that that ability to have casuals be able to play the game, I think would be lost if everyone is now armed with this movement.
Okay.
I
So,
think
all right.
I'm going off because they didn't get into why they felt this way. These were the statements made.
So
I'd have to
But let
find
me
that
what
let
it
me fill in
sounds,
some of the
so,
gaps
yeah,
because
sure.
when Titanfall 2, one of the complaint with a lot of people was exactly that. Like,
Because it did
hey,
have
I'm
did
about to
have
lose, but
multiplayer.
anyway,
Right.
basically somebody can like so if you look at some videos like montage footage of Titanfall, go do yourself a favor, go to YouTube and search and find a few. You're gonna see Neo from the Matrix come alive. Like as you're ejecting from a Titan, like let's say you just killed my Titan, right, as a
Uh
pilot.
huh.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And the Titan have an eject button where it sends you up in space. Well, not in space, but it sends you up high enough. I can grapple into something and do that. And but imagine a much greater distance, like I'm all the way up in the sky,
Mm-hmm.
like grappling down on somebody
Uh-huh.
and kicking their face in. And that would be in a
Uh-huh.
lot of cases a one shot. A lot
Oh,
of people
because of
don't like that
the distance traveled, right?
distance. Also, the uh,
Speed you
think
pick up.
about how you had to rewire your mind playing Homeworld, any
Mm-hmm.
direction.
Yeah.
That's what Titanfall is. A lot of people just
Yeah.
they're brain fried.
Oh, you mean to tell me? All right. So people didn't get the idea or concept that someone, I don't
Yes,
know, in Battlefield can fly a plane and jump out of said plane as missiles are firing, kill the other pilot who also is in a plane, and then steal their plane. We all seen that video,
Yeah.
right?
But
Of somebody doing the
yeah,
exact same thing.
and that's funny.
So basically, the people who play tested scrubs, and I say it that way. To me, that's what it sounds like.
Okay,
You
it's
didn't
not.
understand that third level, fourth level
But
thinking
I
playing the game.
I think what they wanted, and I could be wrong. What they wanted was that Fortnite, Call of Duty, where there's this large middle ground due to the nature of the play mechanics, where everyone
Uh-huh.
can feel like they're competent. Whether or not they're actually good, it's how they feel. And I think Titanfall's mechanics,
Here
if
comes
you're
the
not,
Titan.
yeah, if you're not good at it, this is the Titanfall, by the way. You call this in, and now you're playing a different style of game. So the thing is,
This is big dick energy. I'm just gonna say.
so
Continue. Sorry.
I think Titanfall's mechanics and very much Battlefield, right? Let's not get it confused. Titanfall's mechanics, Battlefield in a multiplayer formula, I think very quickly make certain class of players feel lesser than. Whether or not you are, you don't want to feel that way because you want as many players as possible. So they buy battle pass, they buy the coins or whatever their in-game currency is, they buy skins, they buy out. You want as many people in there as possible doing that.
Okay. Okay.
And I have a feeling they couldn't figure a way to get Titanfall's gunplay mechanics on a BR map to feel that way,
Right.
which is
And
disheartening because I want what that
Which
is in a
and
BR.
yeah, and I don't think that is as difficult as they're making it seem. I really don't. If Valve can exist, a Titanfall
uh,
BR can exist.
Yeah, but where's Evolve
uh,
now? To their point.
Look, yeah, I mean,
okay, I'm
that's
going to
true.
defend Evolve in this sense. Okay, where is Evolve? Evolve came out in a point in which people weren't staying home. People were going out playing other games, and let's face it, Turtle Rock had issues uh, in of itself. They had their own issues,
Mm-hmm.
right? Um, you just said when did Apex come out?
2019
COVID.
happened the next lockdown happened the next year. Yep.
So people just thought, what do we do? I don't know, play video games. Hence the big success of um,
Every BR.
COD and Apex
Yep.
BRs, all that stuff. So, and I don't want to take away from the success of uh, Apex as it is. However, they do owe most of their success to COVID.
Oh, every BR did. That BR explosion was definitely due to the lock. The entire video game explosion was because of the lockdown. Um, which is why we see so many studios now either downsizing or closing because they compensated for the explosion of the lockdown and the lockdown's over. So their audience shrunk back to, it course corrected. Um, okay. So that's there. This is the reality of it, right? That's how it happened. But we're what if?
Mm-hmm.
So what if
Sure.
they said screw the playtesters? What if that happened? What if they said this is the essence of Titanfall? There is no Apex. We're not taking a second route. We're not gonna colorify it and make it look all cartoony. We're making Titanfall Battle Royale. This drops mid
Sure.
2019 as a Battle Royale. How do you think it's received?
I think it would have been better received, but then again, I do have to add that caveat. Um, I'm not trying to be mean, and I'm pretty sure the chat probably I am. I don't think um it would have the brain cells to handle something like that. It might be a little
Ooh,
scary.
you're breaking up a little
Try to
bit.
keep it
Repeat.
simple. Okay. Um, the there's enough. Uh, I think that would be complicated for some people, and I think they had to. You have to have something dumbed down to understand and play.
Hmm.
Mm.
Okay.
Right? Just think.
So let's backtrack a bit on some of the. I actually want to go over some of the game modes of Titanfall
Mm-hmm.
before we go into BR and the transition to BR. If this was a what if,
Mm-hmm.
um, Titanfall's main game mode was attrition, and it was basically first-person MOBA. Think about that. I'm gonna let that process because um, I believe there were two. There were lanes. Like if you see all the Titanfall map, they're
Yeah.
basically lanes, right? And
Yeah.
then you would have it's a PvPvE mode, and you would have like grunts and stuff NPC running up against your base, and you have to kill them, but you also have to deal with the Titan or i.e. other player who are your main uh uh you know uh threat. However, you killed all the little uh, grunts to XP up to get resource whatever, and I think I'm remembering that correctly, but that's basically how it went. Now they also have Last Man Titan mode where you start as a Titan, and then if you lose your Titan, it's dead. That's it. If your team loses all three Titans, that's it,
Oof.
right? So
Mm-hmm.
like imagine they take that mode and make it a BR. When you jump from that dropship, and look, Titans are falling from look.
The
This is how you
sky.
land.
Yeah.
See, look at this. It's a perfect BR. Look at that. Look at that. Done.
Well, that's the hilarious thing. They do
It just
have in Apex Legends, there are people who can call in sky drops, but it's usually for equipment or perks and stuff. Like that whole mechanic is there. They literally just repurposed the same mechanic. I forgot the name of the class, but she calls in a drop, but it's not a Titan.
Right?
yeah.
And to combat the concept that you couldn't have play balance with high movement and Titans, just to combat that idea.
And that could call help.
Ooh, you're breaking up bad, Dade. Your bandwidth is hurting. Is he is he back?
Mm, don't
Um
know, but continue. Yeah.
yeah. To combat that concept that we couldn't have that high movement or Titans on the map, another BR came out during the explosion of BRs called Naraka Blade Point. And one of the characters, her ultimate is legit to call in a steampunk mech that she climbs into and starts shooting a bunch of other characters who have grappling hooks and the ability to wall run. Stop me if any of this sounds familiar. Only difference there it was third person instead of first person. But it is essentially the movement mechanics of Titanfall being done by someone not related to Titanfall. Am I the only one who finds that absurd?
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
Not a problem, dude. Everything fixed?
Yeah.
Okay. So we have the someone proved that the movement and the ability to call in a mech can be done in a BR and it not feel unbalanced, because she's the only one that could do it, much mind you. Everyone could do the grappling movement, but it was just this one player that could call in a mech. And no one complained that, oh, now the game is unbalanced.
Right, but what's the success of that character in terms
No,
of playtime?
Naraka Blade Point was very successful, and I've seen a lot of people use that character.
That's okay. Yes, true. But again, what's the success of that character in terms of selection across the board?
At one point, when she first dropped, heavy. It's kind of gotten play balance now because, other people can. Naraka Blade Point is this weird thing where people can turn into demons. It depends on your play style, right?
Right.
But a
And
lot of.
whoever your favorite character, Jesus, that's a mech of itself.
Go ahead.
Come on, man. Turned into like Vishnu, the freaking six-armed god. Like smashing the shit out of everybody.
But and again, that's kind of almost like being a Titan, but they proved that you could have that movement and the larger characters and not break the game.
Yes, but why am I don't want to
Ro,
be
that's
mean
not what he
again.
meant. That's not what he meant, Ro. No, so speak your
I,
mind.
I don't want to be mean.
Mm-hmm.
I don't, and here, look, maybe people in the chat may be offended. I don't think people are smart enough. I really don't.
Oof.
People want to hop in, pick a gun up, and shoot shit or throw shit. Outside of that, they don't want to do anything. I could turn into this big thing. Yeah, you could have turned into a big thing and won that game. But what are the movements? It's too complicated. Like, forget it. And then just pick a gun up and pick something else up and do your thing.
So your assertion date is that if this dropped as a BR in 2019, it
would appeal to a smaller market than a larger one. Because the smaller market would understand the complications of what needs to be done. The larger market wouldn't understand.
I see that. And I agree to a point.
Yeah.
Here's okay. So other BRs hit, right? 2019,
sure.
It starts. Then the lockdown happens. And pretty much everybody's locked down for 2020. I think that's where, and this might have just been an upward trend for that time. I think that's where a Titanfall BR would have shined. Because now you have everyone taking the time to invest in these games and learn mechanics they wouldn't otherwise have learned. That's when people started learning how to slide cancel in COD. That's when that's actually when Apex saw an explosion too. That's when Fortnite players started all the BRs that people could gravitate to and make good content out of.
Yeah.
That's when they all exploded. And I think a Titanfall BR in that particular environment would have excelled. I think if we didn't have that lockdown, the Titanfall BR would have been a hard sell. But now you have people who are trying out every free game, essentially, right? Because I'm locked inside. I may or may not have had a job. I might be furloughed because we're all locked down. all the free BRs exploded. I think this had a chance in that market to have gained a larger audience because now they would have taken the time to try it.
Now, I'll give you a very visual, very tangible example.
Mm-hmm.
Me, I would like to play Titanfall BR.
Mm-hmm.
Just like I like playing COD Hardcore BR, right? And
Mm-hmm.
you know what I'm getting at.
Mm-hmm.
The vast majority love don't like hardcore, so they prefer Apex.
Okay, so here's the thing. Let's say Apex, right?
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
They could have, and remember, Titanfall did have pilots only mode. At that point, I'm like, why would you play a game called Titanfall with? Oh, anyway, uh, but there is that like audience within audience where they're like, okay, this is too much. Has a stripped down version, right?
yeah,
So they
yeah,
could do BR with different modes. Do you want a full B? It's like Fortnite with building.
Yeah.
Fortnite
That.
without,
yeah,
just
sure.
Yep.
Yeah,
just have two tiers, and then when you grow up, you can play with Titans. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's just
The,
that could be the way they do it.
yeah. Avex is right. Yeah. If they did it,
yeah,
that probably would have been the happy medium. I mean, they'd still have to contend with the zip line jetpack movement, but
Well, you're gonna have to, learn
yeah,
some ways, right?
yeah. But
yeah, yeah.
to
Yeah.
to your credit, that Fortnite massively successful. A lot of people didn't like the building aspect, and it blew up in popularity the moment they said, "Hey, there's a mode without build." So if
Heck, man, it
Titanfall,
was popular, even the building.
no, it was popular, but let's be real,
But
a
yeah,
lot
then
of
it,
people hopped on. It's like,
yeah.
oh, the barrier to entry is lower. To Dade's point, I'm not going to repeat his words, but y'all heard it. The barrier to entry was lower, and more people hopped on.
Yep.
And I think if we combine what Avik said, if they did that, right, because of
How
Dade's
many
reason,
drones are there?
I'm not going to repeat. If they did that to appease them, remember, everyone had their audience, but for a while, Warzone kind of took the majority of the mind share when it first
Yeah.
came out because it landed so well. They did everything so right. Until they didn't. There was this point where they messed up with their updates. COD people already know where this was. They had changed the movement, they changed the map, too many changes all at once.
Mm.
And everyone said, let's try something else. At that point, Fortnite not build exploded. Even Naraka Blade Point exploded at one point. Apex Legends exploded in concurrent players.
Farlight exploded, but we're
Yeah,
not going to talk about that game anymore.
yeah. So there was this point where Call of Duty dropped the ball, and everyone decided to explore. Now, if Titanfall BR, this is me, y'all can disagree. If Titanfall BR is on the market with the
Yeah,
additional mode that Avix mentioned, so you have a non-Titan mode and you have the Titan mode, same maps, same rotations, but with or without Titans, right? I think at that point in time, what would have been the Apex explosion would have been the Titanfall explosion. And I think in return, it would have sold more copies of the traditional Titanfall, much like Call of Duty related stuff. Other things kind of the Call of Duty universe sell because of Warzone. You get what I'm saying?
yeah,
And we probably would have been on Titanfall 3 or 4 by now because they may have taken the Activision route and the new Titans and the new guns get introduced with a new Titanfall release.
right. I could see a partnership, if you will, like seeing it in a sense. You try to if if they basically Fortnited it in the sense that like kind of make it open a little bit more to other I guess not IPs, but yes, technically IPs. I could see like a combination with like let's say Battlefield, not Battlefield. What is it? BattleTech, Mech Warrior, Armored Core, like all these little combinations, and say like, okay, build the world out, bring other people from other games into Titanfall, have a partnership with let's say Monster Hunter, and have skinned Titans that look really cool, right? And then when the time is right and the game is a little bit too niche, open it up. Hey, we have this mode called Apex. Like, oh, that'll draw me in, and that's the lower barrier where you can do it. Don't just come out with a whole other game and just say, here's the lowered barrier, and don't give that upper tier.
Mm.
Just saying.
Yeah, I think they could have done that.
Yeah, they could have.
Like, okay, even Apex as it is, why didn't they just add a Titan mode back into it after its success?
Huh.
If all the core components are still there, you
Yeah, sure.
literally just have to flip switches, and in this case, you have to redesign the Titans because they're more realistic texture pattern as opposed to the cartoony. Um, why not add it back?
Right.
They're so kind of tunnel visioned onto the success of Apex.
And to the other point, if they're like, especially the suits, the business case,
Mm-hmm.
you can sell twice the skins with Titans.
Hell yeah! What?
Look, man,
Sonic
twice the
skin? Are you kidding me?
look. You want to make money? You just the whole excuse is have a platform that is really fun to play, and have these characters. That's it. If you can do that, just make as many. You're printing money. Make as many skin as you want. You need an excuse to add as many character as possible, and adding a layer of a Titan on top of, like, imagine they sell a bundle. Hey, you want to look like this? Like, let's say this is a Reaper's favorite color, by the way, chat. Orange Titan. You want a matching orange skin for your pilot? Yeah, you can. But you got to buy those. That's a bundle.
Yeah, sure.
But that's the, and I don't like the idea of every battle royale needs to be the same. Like, uh, I can actually see this one working backwards because in most battle royale, you start out as a bitch, and you basically scavenge chest and loot and get better, get your loadout, whatever. I actually think
Yeah,
the reverse of it could be more interesting. Like, and it's a nice change of space. You start out as Titans, and eventually you'll lose yours, but you can
that's true.
that's okay. You can come back as pilot, and as a pilot, because you fucked up your Titan, now you have to be creative and figure out how to take down the other player's Titans. So I mean, or even, hey, Grand Theft Auto, another player Titan. Get the if you can get the pilot out of their Titans, how can you steal theirs? So I
I
think
see.
that's, what I mean. Like, to me,
Yeah,
like, that has so much
and
potential that Apex will never bring, or Apex currently
right.
doesn't have. It's just another battle royale. Yes, the movement's great, but it's just another
Like
battle
the
royale.
the the fighting game equivalent. Let's say, and Reaper will immediately get this. Is like with any of the Dragon Ball games or even King of Fighter games where you have your 3-man team where you
Mm-hmm.
start off with your weakest and go up with you try to dwindle down to your more stronger stable character. In Abbas's turn, it's just flip. You start off with your strongest and you try to make do with the weakest.
You
Yeah.
You
do
see
the
what I'm
most
saying?
damage you can with your strongest. It's burst,
And
and
then
then yeah.
exactly. That's a really good idea.
And a mechanic that doesn't sound difficult to implement.
No, no.
And look how many mechs this game engine is
Yeah, man,
handling
look,
at
this is
once.
four. By the way, Chad, this is 4 player scale, so I'm not supposed to be doing this solo, but this mode is a lot of fun. And the nuke icons, those are the nuke titans. They blow up, and you don't want them to blow up near your well, near your base.
You sure? I mean,
Yeah.
you should be like,
Well,
Sarah. You don't like the glow for the next 10 years?
Wow, this guy. All right.
yeah.
So so if Apex didn't exist, this existed
Yeah,
with the changes we mentioned, right? That would have made it more appealing and more successful to a wider audience.
yeah.
What happens to EA's decision making in the wake of this? Does Battlefield 2042 still come out when it comes out, or are they having everything take a back seat? Or do we still get Battlefield 2042 as it was without a BR mode? Because I think they didn't make that a BR because Apex existed.
Well,
That's my suspicion. I'm not saying it's
I'm
factual.
glad. I'm glad you're very kind in that. No, I think they had a lot of. Um, there are just like Turtle Rock. The decision making behind Battlefield 2042 was hmm, there were not enough brains in the room. I'll put it that way.
Wow.
They said, let's go with the same formula that we did with Battlefield, uh, like the other Battlefield games. I forgot the one in between. Bad Company, right? Let's
Uh,
go with the same Battlefield um, uh, multiplayer. Yeah, different modes and everything. Yeah, it had some pretty good modes. However, it just
oh no.
wasn't.
Okay, I forgot how that rocket works.
It didn't stick. It just didn't.
huh.
Now, I'll tell you what, the community is still there. It is still there in multiplayer.
You mean
Crazy.
their core audience?
Yeah, their core audience is still there. Some crazy shit still happening, right? But there's a huge gap between the core audience and the regular people that play that game. I can see people
Mm.
firing up for a little bit and then leaving it alone. Would it have still existed? Uh, they still would have had done the same mistakes. They would have DC'd that shit and just
DC. You might need to explain that to folks. That's a bit of an
they might
inside humor.
they're basically gonna Detective Comics that sucker like Warner Brothers and let the suits do the talking and fuck it up. So yeah, sorry, I don't think it goes anywhere. Um,
Got you.
and let's face it, and we could have a whole other discussion on EA in general. Like there's only a few games that they're
Mm-hmm.
good at, and that's it. The other experimental games just don't have it.
It's hit or miss. It's very
You can name more franchise they fuck up
ooh.
That's
than things that they're
success.
good at. Yeah.
Exactly. Agreed.
That'd be an interesting drinking game.
Anybody familiar with Westwood Studios?
Mm-mm.
Mm, they felt their ass.
Jeez. So,
Soon to be Bioware.
oh no. Okay. All right. So Battlefield still happens.
Yes.
Titanfall stays for the most part the breadwinner in this case, right? If that's their BR when the lockdown happens and coming out of the lockdown. So now Apex was riding high. In this case, Titanfall would be riding high.
Right?
Then they changed the monetization and how it worked in Apex. They tried to do this, and I'm probably explaining this wrong. Apex folks are probably going to come in here and correct me. They had tried to have this multi-tiered battle pass system. And the knee-jerk reaction to that was collectively from their audience, fuck you. Their player base got gutted. I saw people who were playing pro level Apex. They were going out to tournaments. They were getting invited to tournaments. They were winning money. Go and play other games like Tarkov.
Yes.
Let's
Which
think
is
about
insane.
let's think about that for a second. They went from a game
That's
that was
insane.
simplified, mind you. The game was simplified, to straight up going for a steep learning curve, which is why I think having Titans in the game as an option would probably have appealed at some point. Because at some point, some people would have, I have the mental bandwidth to go higher in my skill set. But to see people go to Tarkov, Naraka Blade Point, Farlight, it was this perfect storm of Apex had effed up with this whole monetization thing they did, and COD had effed up an update. And both communities went, what are these others over here? We've not been paying attention to these others. And just looked around at all the other games and tried them.
Basically, like, the minute you said Tarkov, I'm like, huh, you know what? I would rather play in this game. Arma. Like, wait, what? You know, like, fuck. Where did we mess up?
So, okay. And I bring that up because you brought up the suits, right?
Yeah.
Do we think they would have done the same thing if Titanfall was the BR? Would they have tweaked? I'm going to say tweaked because that's probably how they saw it. We're just tweaking the monetization and how the battle passes work. Do you think they would have touched that in that environment?
You know what they would have done? And I hate to, again, and I'm speaking to about like the different. There are very few developers who are thoughtful. Very few that are who are like, forward thinking. The folks that did, who handled Fortnite, amazing. I still to this day amazing. I love the fact what they're doing. I love their thoughtfulness. I love the fact that they're keeping their base and expanding the base, which is nuts. Basically, they have like the Steam application as a game where you could go in the game and play other games, which is nuts when you think of it, right? But with Titanfall, if they made a BR and they saw the success of it, just like you know what they would have done? They would have gotten to that point where people would leave the game faster. They will pour gasoline on that bitch and fuck it up even faster. I'm just saying. They're like, oh my god, this is great. Oh my god, well, why don't we just do this, do that, put a cooking game in it? Like, fuck, what?
Maximize profit.
Exactly. No, you're going the wrong way, brother. And then kill it.
Okay, so while you were saying that, I thought of, and I want both of your reactions, right? How would you feel if they had the standard battle pass as it was? You unlock, you get stuff for your Titan and your character. They ended up giving you two separate battle passes, one for your character, one for the Titan, both different prices. It's like, oh, you're playing, you leveled up. Oh yeah, you only got stuff for your dude. Oh, you want stuff for the Titan? Oh, that's another battle pass.
You know how they have two tracks?
Yep.
The pilot one, the basic bitch one. the top line. The Titan one is the next. They have 2 tracks. You can have the. I'm building onto what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Have the Titan one be the second one, because you're getting the free to play players again. Simple game.
Standard
And
battle pass
make
versus
him feel
premium battle pass.
satisfied. Yeah, right. Make him feel satisfied with the free line,
Yeah,
and then you get, quote unquote, the real players.
Oh,
yeah.
you're
Yeah.
mistaking me. No, there's neither of these are free.
Oh wow, you went full NBA.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm saying, because remember, I'm saying this is the fuck up scenario. This is where they they jumped
Yeah.
off the bridge. I
Oh my god.
Because they fucked up. That's how they fucked up Apex. So I'm thinking in Dade's mindset where he's saying, "Oh, they're gonna screw it." I'm now thinking of how they screw it up.
Oh, they're gonna screw it fast.
Like, think about how badly it's like. Oh no, it's $25 for the battle pass with your character. Like, look at this character Avex has on the screen. That's $25 to get, new gun skins and everything for him. Then for the Titan behind him, that's another 20. It's $50 every season.
Yo.
You hear, right?
Yo.
But essentially, that's the kind of stuff they did with Apex. So I'm like, if Dade says they still gonna fuck it up, yeah, here's your fuck up scenario. And look,
They're gonna fuck up bad.
go back to the pilot's edit. Look at all this stuff you can customize. Look at all
It's
of that.
different.
Mm,
Yeah.
mm,
Yeah,
mm.
you got to pay for all of that, and then you got to go do your Titan.
Yeah. Double dip.
Oh, and the tokens. Don't forget, you have double XP or whatever tokens. Oh yeah, that's separate coins because there's going to be their in-game currency as well.
Titan coins and operator coins. So
Yeah, they'd just be elbow deep. So,
yeah.
oddly enough, I mean, I posed the question and I kind of already knew the answer. Yes, I think they would fuck it up. I agree with all of you. They would fuck this up.
Oh yeah.
It would be nice if they listened to Avex's suggestion if this was a thing, right? And your free is just the character, and then your premium is the Titan. That's the nice, kind to the player's way of doing it. But to Dade's point, they wouldn't do that. And
Exactly. The suits.
Yeah. Okay,
Get
so
fucked.
so
Yeah.
they okay, so now they fuck up the Titanfall BR monetization, right? They lose players.
Yeah.
Do we think, because this is now tied to Titanfall, it hasn't become its own thing like how Apex is, right? Do we think they have less patience for making it better because now they've already gone through Titan 1 and 2 and not always gotten the results they wanted? Do we think they give up on it as their BR of choice sooner because this essentially is the same IP underperforming?
To do what? A dodgeball game? Oh, my bad. You killed that one too.
Yo,
What are they gonna do?
Knockout City catches
Knockout
strays.
City. What? I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Like, no, man. They're gonna look. Executives have a knack of hitting every fuck up limb on the way down. They do a really good game, fuck it up. Titanfall, fuck it up. Was it? What's that? We play it all the time. We used to play it all the time. Need for Speed. In Need for Speed, fuck it up.
Rainbow Six Siege, fuck it up.
So, look, I'm just saying, but like, at some point, there has to be an executive decision where greed isn't the deciding factor. It's a factor. I'm not going to be delusional with it, but greed is not the deciding factor. Again, you hear me talk about Fortnite and how great it is. There are separate battle passes for the various game types that you want to play. But again, if that is your shtick, that's what you're going to be paying for. I like to play the BR mode, the Lego mode, and the OG mode. Guess what? You're going to be paying for 3 battle passes because that's what you play.
To their credit,
You
though, they make
yeah.
every mode in Fortnite feel like a full-fledged mode. Like that could be a full price game by itself.
Oh yeah, and
So
that's the
I
whole
think that's
point.
where the that's where they get it right.
Exactly. Don't make a battle pass just for the sake of making money.
Find a way to take something creative and then profit off of it. Just don't.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You already you already have my attention and my time invested, right?
Mm-hmm.
Don't make me regret my investment.
You hear that, EA? You hear it? You listening? A little bit of audience input here. To Vita's point, because she mentioned Big O and Gundam.
Mm,
Okay, okay, let's think about this, right? They see what Fortnite is doing, and we've seen Call of Duty copy for aspects of Fortnite. Imagine now, because this has no other media tie-ins, they get a contract where some of your Titans are the mechs from Big O or are the mobile suits from Gundam.
mm-hmm.
I mean, I think
Mm-hmm.
now that's a good way to have your media tie-ins and keep your audience engaged. I get to run around,
Every time they do a Pacific Rim movie,
Look,
you know.
I'll say one. I'll say one that all of y'all just gonna like, right?
Mm-hmm.
Attack on Titan.
Oh, just your
You,
Titanfall is a
you
Titan.
it is the Titan, and you rip out of it to become one of the slinging, um, what you
But
call it,
that's
Rangers.
that's the thing. Those dudes' movement is a little bit like the movement from Titanfall.
Thank you.
That does work. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
um, Rose says they would move on and fire everyone. That would be disheartening, but not out of the realm of possibility. Queen Mouse, thank you very much for that resub. I Ro, unfortunately, that would be a sad day, but it's not an unheard of possibility. I'm gonna put it to you that way. If
Pretty
something
much.
else at the time was making them more money or losing them less money, it's possible. If Titanfall BR had tanked enough, yeah.
Mm.
And two, that's a low blow. I mean, if Battlefield BR was actually good, oof. With no Titanfall, Mecha Break is gonna eat up that space. Potentially, if people
and
were looking for a Titan based BR and this was this had introduced everyone to it and now they needed other
yeah,
Titanfall
and,
BR.
and
Yeah.
to end his defense, this man, we met this man on Battlefield. So it's one of those deals where this man knows what he's talking about, and unfortunately, it just didn't pan out.
Yeah. Okay. So are we better off at the fact that they didn't tie the battle royales to an existing IP? Was perhaps the real reason they strayed away from it so that they wouldn't gamble with EA washing their hands of Titanfall as a whole should the BR have not have taken off?
Good question. I don't know. I I think there's failure all around that it would. You know what I mean? If something eventually would have happened, and I don't want to say it's because of EA, but I have to say, yeah, EA is part of that problem.
Mm,
They're just they're too profit oriented
I
to
think
think
FIFA
beyond.
fuck their heads up for good. Like
Oh, FIFA,
every
all their
other
sports games.
game.
Just say their sports games altogether.
Okay, all the horse. People have to understand. EA is a sports game publisher first. They don't know anything about video games. They because they purchase Dice. Every actual video game they have is through an acquisition. Dice, Battlefield. Any Mass Effect shit, Dragon Age, BioWare.
Bioware.
Any of the strategy game, Westwood. I can give more examples, but that's based. This is not a game company. It's a publishing house.
Yeah.
They like the idea to make games, but they don't.
Yeah.
So, okay. I'm going to pull some numbers here since we've gotten onto that, right? Avex said specifically FIFA messed up their heads. He's not wrong in that. FIFA, their sports division. Someone, when was this updated? Best selling list 2024, right? So EA franchises. This is all of their franchises, mind you. FIFA running from 93 to 2022. Oh yeah, because it's now FC, right? They changed the name.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
For World Cup because they couldn't pay the license.
Okay, so from just that one title, 325 million units sold.
Yep.
That is more than any single console. The Sims, as a franchise, not surprising, right? Started in 2000 to now, is close at 200 million units in sales.
Mm-hmm.
Number 3. Guess what number 3 is?
Madden?
Okay, date says Madden. Avex, their number 3 franchise.
That this assumes I care about you. I don't really know.
Okay. You giving up? You ready?
I'll say Madden.
You say Madden as well. Need for Speed, according to this chart.
Shut.
150 million units.
What crack are they smoking?
Well, remember, okay, let me explain why Need for Speed is there. Here's all the platforms those games have ever been sold on: 3DO, Android, Game Boy Advance, iOS, Kindle Fire, macOS, Windows, MS-DOS, Nintendo 3DS, Nintendo DS, GameCube, Switch, OS 10, PlayStation 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, PSP, PS Vita, Saturn, Wii, Wii U, Windows Mobile, Windows Phone, Xbox, Xbox 360. You see where this is going.
I do. However, the modern Need for Speed,
Oh,
only
yeah, it's not
the
great.
only way that that game is making money for these guys is if that sucker is freaking mining Bitcoin in the background because of the high CPU utilization for no goddamn good reason.
I think it's historical sales. Like Need for Speed, remember, was the premier racing game.
Yeah, sure.
And that was from 94. So that's probably a lot of historical money there.
Mm.
Y'all said Madden, that's number 4.
Gotcha.
Apex Legends is 5th.
Somebody's buying the battle passes.
Monetized through microtransactions and loot. So Apex Legends, considering the age of this company, right? Apex Legends isn't in their top 3, but has already made it to their top 5.
Yep.
So Apex carries significant weight, and in this case, it could have been Titanfall carrying significant weight, right?
Yeah.
Battlefield is number 6.
I can see that.
Battlefield is an older franchise and plays second fiddle to Apex.
Oh, yeah.
And we're under 100 million units. So Battlefield is down to 88.7 million units. Number 7 is Bejeweled.
This podcast is over.
Well, I mean,
I'll see you guys later.
no. It's so I could see that because again, we were thinking global sales. We were thinking like like accessible, an accessible market, not
Yeah.
just
It's
the
mobile microtransactions.
yeah
Yeah.
Bejeweled. It's rated E for everyone from ages what 5 to 85.
It's on Facebook. It's on Java platforms. It was on BlackBerry, Windows Mobile, Palm, Windows, Mac OS, Android, iOS. It's on there. It was everything that was just in the palm of your hand. There was no
Yeah,
escaping it.
I know people who play that before they go to sleep, dude.
Yeah.
Look,
We have
it's
Lucky.
insane.
We have Lucky here saying she played Bejeweled last year. So
Last year, not last night. Stop lying. Stop playing. You did.
I'm gonna
You can hear
stop.
those gems right now, just tingling in your ear. Ka-ching, ka-ching.
I'm gonna stop at the top 10 though. I'm not gonna keep going after. All
Yeah,
right.
sure.
Number 8 is the Medal of Honor series, which hasn't been updated in fuck.
Are
uh,
you serious?
yeah, it's there. But again, Medal of Honor
Don't
was on Game Boy
that
Advance, Mac OS, Windows, GameCube, PS1, 2, and
you
3,
just
PlayStation Portable,
proving my point
Wii,
that
Xbox
executives
360.
want to fuck up a franchise fast. I love that series. I would pick Medal of Honor over Call of Duty any day.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, jeez, that was such a good game. Such a
Okay.
good franchise.
Abex is gonna like this next one. Number 9 is Command and Conquer.
E. Proper.
Yeah. Been their
Dude, you don't
franchise.
get to say that now.
I don't get to say it. I'm
You
just
don't
saying.
know. No,
Look, like
no.
even a person like me that don't play games like that like you gotta pay homage to
When
it.
you appreciate some stuff you hate, you know they're good.
Yeah, exactly.
95. That's been around. And it was also on Android and iOS, so that probably propped up the sales. It was on. There was a Command and Conquer on N64. Did not know that.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
now I do. And the last one is very surprising to me. As I don't know how I made it top 10. I'm not sure if this is rounding error, but Star Wars Battlefront is here.
Yeah, it was a great. Yeah, when it first came out, people flocked to that game.
So that's worldwide top 10 franchises. So that being said, though, sports is only in their top 10 there twice.
Hey, but it's in their top 10
It's in their top 10.
really big.
Well, FIFA is the
FIFA, oh
yeah, cuz
huge.
you don't see another one till Madden, and that's number 4.
And okay, and I would really, if there are people in the chat who play the game, um, you have to understand how the monetization of FIFA works. Like, there are levels of premium pass. If you could bring it up on your on another screen, Reap, and seeing what they asked for, they went to a point in which, and I agree to this for a lot of sports fans, for myself, um, live rosters, right? Live rosters were one of their big things, where like you play the game, you boot it up, and I remember playing it one time, and I was like, "Huh, where's this guy? From why is Ronaldinho not in there?" Like, then I look at the news on the TV. They're like, "Oh, he's injured." I was like, "Oh shit!" They took him out of the roster while he was injured. Accurate. I could play a day by day, you know, uh, pass, and it would be actually medically accurate, which is nuts. But that's the type of players you're getting. And guess what? Even in the FIFA community, there are people who hate the game because the gameplay sucks.
So why are they
But
there then?
guess what? Guess what?
What?
They gotta eat every ounce of that shit because EA don't give a. They're gonna make that money anyway.
But why play the game if you don't like it?
Because again, it's the only one in town, and you gotta eat it up anyway.
Maybe I'm just too stuck in my ways. If I don't like a thing, I don't play a thing.
I mean, this. Okay. You guys familiar with the phrase people who read Harry Potter don't read other books, but they will read Harry Potter?
Yeah.
Okay. Enter a FIFA player. They're not playing games. They just like soccer a lot. Like this is not a video game thing to them. This is just
This is me spending more
fantasy
time.
football. It's like
Yeah, okay.
like if they're not, you know what they're doing when they're not playing FIFA? They're watching fucking soccer because that's
Yeah,
what they
pretty much.
do.
Yeah.
So
I don't. Hey,
it's
look.
like because you can say, hey, there's so many
Yeah,
options. Why play a game you don't like? They don't know anything any better. That is their life.
you're right.
Okay. That's disconcerting.
Uh,
Here's someone,
it's
they'd asked me to look up the monetization, and the first thing I get is what is the most predatory game monetization out there? Is EA Games. They made sure they called out EA Games, FIFA the
yes,
worst.
yes.
I just wonder
In,
what is the worst out there. I find in monetization in FIFA's Ultimate Team to be utterly disgusting. You buy FIFA points to buy packs, then you pray to gamble a
yep,
good player, and you can
yep,
use it until it becomes obsolete as EA makes new promotions all the time, making your current players not good. You have
yep.
11 players plus the subs, and the amount of money you have to spend to get a competitive team is ridiculous.
Mhm.
Quoted that it would cost a whopping 50,000 USD of real money to be able to afford all the best players in the game.
Yep.
But it
And
gets
guess
worse.
what? What you want to hear a scary thought?
What's that?
Every game that competes with that type of battle pass or that play type wants that. Madden is already there.
I heard the NBA games are atrocious.
Yes,
Like you're spending
Madden's already
$70
there.
for the game and then you're spending, you know what? Maybe it's good that, hear me out.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's good that EA didn't stay top dog in Battle Royale.
Yeah.
N2 said 50K for one update to ruin your whole squad. Yo. So imagine this, right? They had become top dog, right? They beat out Warzone, Fortnite, PUBG, everybody. They're top
Yeah.
dog, and they take the monetization from their sports titles and apply it to a battle royale. So somehow they make it the industry norm that you pay full price for a battle royale, and then you still have to buy battle passes and all microtransactions to get the most out of it. Because keep in mind, if you're the market leader, a lot of other game companies look to you to see what you do. Kind of like how everybody's looking at GTA 6 now to see if the rumored $100 price point becomes the new norm. Because if they pull it off, the market shifts in that direction. So if we're saying EA are the big bad corporate overlords that we've been saying they are,
Yeah.
and they merge that monetization scheme into the battle royale space, that was a good use of that Titanfall drop, by the way, Ibex.
Yeah,
Um,
I had to show that moment in the thing.
just imagine now BR's not being free entry point anymore. Because if EA proves they could do it, everyone else is going to be like, right, we charge too. That would be madness. Because there's no way if EA pulls it off, Activision's next whatever with Warzone isn't going to cost you $70.
Yeah.
There's just not gonna. There's no way.
No. No, I can see like EA's like mentality, like, oh, here's this free to play game. Oh, you want to play and progress through the game and succeed, you have to buy the battle pass. Why? Because the drops that you get normally for free provide a less RNG chance to get something that is favorable. Get it?
Yep. Matter of fact, I can imagine it being a dick. You see how Apex
Yeah.
is now, where the thing pops off and you have the
Mm-hmm.
essentially the panels showing you what you could get. Just
Yeah.
imagine a panel showing you just always. There's always a panel with awesome stuff and a lock
Yep, never
symbol
gonna
on
get
it.
a.
Just a big old lock symbol, like, oh, you want this nice shiny thing that you would have gotten right now because you rolled it. Oh, you need the
Exactly.
battle pass. Sorry.
Like reds and golds are like having lightning strike, right? Hitting the lottery. But anything else has a sliding scale of what you're gonna get. But if you buy the battle pass, hey, yeah, even chance.
Yeah. Like, here, you get a new title card and this other title card. Oh, that gun, the nice skin on it with all the intricate details. No,
Here's
that's
your green card.
yeah,
You got the green card left.
yeah. Here's a lock symbol. You can hold that, but you push this little button, it takes you to the point screen, and you could use your EA points to get it. Oh, by the way, you have to go buy EA points in buckets of 100 or whatever with real world money. So you gotta.
You know who does that? Valve. Here's a crate. Well, how do I open it? You gotta buy a key. Mother.
It's I think as much as I like to see more competition, I think we're good in one of the better scenarios that EA isn't the market leader in battle royales. I think they would have set a lot of bad precedents that others would have followed along with. Not saying everybody would, but others. There would have been others copying.
I don't think they'll ever get any better. Okay, so here's my example why. Avex, what was that game that you bought that never got off the ground? Like they said it was going to be this big, do all, end all be all, and like it just never got off. Remember you and Grubin played it?
Anthem.
Yep, Anthem. Damn.
That was their answer to. That was their loot shooter. That was their answer to Destiny, Warframe. Oh my god, that's like another 2020 discussion. But
yeah,
that was their answer to Division.
Yeah, and they fucked it up.
Clearly, it was the wrong answer.
Like, I cannot see how.
Yeah.
They're ever going to.
They're too dependent on sports, and they're impatient with other games. It's not making money right away. All right, kill it.
Yep, Knockout City later. Knocked out.
Knockout City had potential. That's the crazy part. That had so much.
It was a fun game.
Just put different skins and outfits in there, and that would have. They just didn't know how to make money.
Fun game. And they just didn't give a shit. They just dropped it.
N2 says like all gacha games where you want the rare drops, it's like 1 in 35 chance, and each box you buy only increases your chances to get said box by 0.1%. Yikes.
Yeah,
and that box costs you $29.99.
Do you guys recall what they did with Star Wars a few years ago with loot boxes in the Battlefront game?
Mm-hmm.
And they had to backtrack because everybody's like, "We're not FIFA, bro. Get the fuck out of here."
Yep. Go ahead, Carvel.
I'm not trading card to play Luke Skywalker. Get out of here.
I'm telling you. That's why they're never going to grow. Then or get it.
I don't want them to. I'd rather they go out of business.
Oof. Wow.
And and you know where they made that mistake, and they thought that their market was there, and it's a warning actually. It is a tale that is a warning to everyone else. The NBA game, uh, NBA Showdown. NBA Showdown was great. Everybody swore by that game,
But
right? But NBA 2K came by and gave a different experience and took their lunch.
oh yeah. And now people are throwing money at NBA 2K.
Exactly. 2K is now the bigger sports platform. Is a better sports platform for that.
Well,
Unfortunately,
We
they
trade
lost
one
the
asshole for
football.
another. That's the thing.
They did exactly. You still got two assholes. That's kind of weird to say that.
Well,
yeah.
It's just which one do you want to eat from?
what?
Oh,
It's a
no.
family show, dude. It's
This podcast not rated E for everyone. Um so N2 is saying live was better than 2K, but NFL 2K was better than Madden. I don't have a horse in that race to make that comparison.
Yeah. So and they made their last game was like NFL Legends or something like that. NFL Legends 2K or something like that on PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360. It was pretty good. It was really good. Um, but they lost the license to the NFL to to EA, and ever since then they just stopped. But they still have the NCAA. They still got the look, and it, they, they could have done. They could have been great. It's just that became this marker that said, "Look, you went and you tried to do something with the game that was inauthentic, and
Inauthentic.
people burned you for it."
That's a good way to
Like,
put it.
I'm just saying, like, like it was ridiculous in terms of like the way that certain players played. It was unrealistic. Like, if you played, and there are a lot of people who played like Tecmo football. No, if you played Bo Jackson, if you picked the Raiders back in the day, every other team was useless, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like when you played with the Lakers, you or with Kobe Bryant and a couple of these guys, the balance between other teams was just
Not there.
you couldn't. It was not
Mm.
there.
You said
But
Tecmo football though. Son of
but when you switched over to like let's say NBA 2K, you had something that felt more authentic, felt like you're actually playing an NBA game. I'm not sure, and then FIFA, all you have to do is like I wouldn't say Google search, but YouTube search, like what's wrong with FIFA and the current year, like this year,
Oh, it's a
and
YouTube
people would
series?
show,
Damn.
yo, dog, I'm telling you, it's
So
nuts. People will go into it. But guess what? When you look at that, they're like, yeah, this is all horrible. It's garbage, blah, blah, blah. You look at the hours, 500 hours. Like, well, still like it. Well, whatever.
so
And you pay for the pass.
so is the consensus that a Titanfall BR, as much as we would have liked to have seen it, we probably would have seen it ruin the Titanfall name at some point?
Uh, it, yes.
um, I'm 70-30 on that. I'm a little bit more optimistic,
A
but
little
okay.
bit more optimistic.
Well, you're optimistic because you I wouldn't say you're invested, but like you're vested. You like this game, right? But at the same time, I have to, I want to be very objective and say like EA would have fucked this game up. They're just,
No,
I
I know.
don't trust.
Look, that's true. I mean, look,
I don't trust them at all.
it's not a
Not in the
question
slightest.
of if are they gonna do it, it's when.
This win, and
It's really a matter of time.
Mm.
Uh, if you can fuck up Mass Effect 3 multiplayer, you can fuck up a lot of things.
wow, yo, you touched
Just
it.
just dropping that. Just saying.
Oh my god, the hours that we had in that.
That might need to be a show. We might have to do a Mass Effect related
Oh my
topic.
goodness.
Mm, that hit close to home.
That did.
The whole tone of the podcast shifted. It's like, oh damn.
It's a mourning, like somebody's funeral. Yeah.
So for myself, Avex, and Reaper, we came in and we would be playing just like you see Reaper sometimes play COD. We would play Mass Effect, if not more vigorously than that. Mass Effect 3 multiplayer. And we would rank up and clap, and power up.
He would farm gold and platinums, just to level up.
Oh yeah.
And it was so good. It was so simple, but it was so good.
And not only so, because I think looking at that reminds me of a lot of our Left 4 Dead days, whereas it just was just enjoyable, and then all of a sudden it's just poof, gone.
So, since we mentioned What If Titanfall BR, there was a Left 4 Dead BR idea floating around. I don't know if you were aware of it. If they did Left 4 Dead 3,
that would have to be someone else. Valve ain't doing that shit. Let's be real.
Okay, let's say it's somebody else.
Yeah,
but the idea was essentially versus. You all start out as survivor, all of you.
And as you get weeded
as
out,
you kill, you don't leave the match on death. You become an infected. There you go. So you're like fully engaged till the end of the match.
You know what's funny?
Unlike most BR, you leave.
You know what's funny?
Yeah.
COD already did that.
Yes.
Every Halloween they enable that mode.
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Left 4 Dead has hunters and smokers and all that, though.
Oh yeah, different classes.
Yeah. There were no different classes, but yeah, they made it that mode, and you could possibly.
No, I'm talking about Left 4 Dead. I would love to be like a witch, just hiding somewhere. Ooh, and catch you.
Randomly get a tank. Just box out.
Catch you. Just
walking. Howl in the background when he transforms into the tank. Just everyone collectively just sphincter clinch just across the map. Like, oh.
On the skybox, a full moon just appears randomly, and then just.
He's not near us, is he? Check your radars. Is he here? Is he?
Oh, this is the corridor.
Oh shit, that's a rock.
Exactly. There's a thin corridor we have to go through. All of a sudden, you see the wall opposite you run. That's moving. Took you really fast.
Mm-mm.
You see an eye open up on the wall. Oh shit, that's his face. It's so big.
Oof. That would be extremely hostile. I would want to be a spitter. I would just stay on the edges. I'd stay on the edges of the map, and the moment you get into that final circle, that floor is lava. Tell me right now, that whole squad.
Here's the thing: I would want to be a smoker and work with you. Let me hold him down. While the acid do his work. Let me just hold it down.
That's messed
We have
up.
to find a video of that one match that we did with Left 4 Dead where um, Reaper was on the roof and trying to escape. I think it was a helicopter, get into a helicopter or something like that. And two tanks come out of nowhere and knock his ass like
I
30
remember that.
blocks off the roof. We're like, oh shit.
Ragdolled my ass. Oh, why you gotta bring that up?
Was that the No Mercy escape on top? He
I
came
think
out off the
so.
ladder and got spit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Woo.
Slap ass. Yeah.
Was I the last one alive when that happened?
Yes, it was realism. And all we
Yeah,
had to do,
realism.
hey, get to the helicopter radio. We just had to walk down the ramp, and the closet was right there. Me and Dade was in the closet trying to get out. By the way, this is not a gay reference. In Left 4 Dead, when you die, you spawn in a
In
the
closet,
closet, yeah.
and the other team has to open you. Okay, all right.
Wait.
Now that we
Hey, yo, they have to do what?
Oh,
Open the closet door, you mean?
yeah.
Is that what we're saying?
open the door
Yeah, to let
so you can take control of your character.
there you
Yes.
go.
Yeah.
So,
I'm being very careful in how I say that.
Yeah.
yeah, people are gonna
That's
clip
funny.
and cut that up. Yeah, that would make for good content if that was a BR. Then again, a lot of this stuff would. And I think
Yeah.
that's the kind of thing we think about when we think about if Titanfall were a BR. You know, if there's this whole thing with the circle closing in and you've just lost your mech, you're in the final circle, you think you've made it. Oh, that other guy can't survive in the smoke. And all of a sudden you hear Titanfall imminent. The other player held on to their Titan call and decided not to use it till the last small circle. Where's the Titan going to land? On you.
And it's gonna kill you. As demonstrated. Yeah.
Yeah. Like there's and we think we're thinking about all of this without the business side, all the possibilities, right?
Yeah.
You think you're about to call in back your team because it would probably be squad based. You get to whatever their equivalent of a recall station is, whether it's a buy like COD or a point like
Right.
Fortnite where you have their cards, whatever their mechanic is. You're getting to that to get your teammates back. And you just hear a zipline pull. And from a building far away, someone is drop kicking you. Full force. Squad wipe on their screen. That's content. These are all the things that would have been possible with the way this game works as is in Titanfall, and you really don't have much of in Apex. And I think that's what saddens this particular trio. They can correct me if I'm wrong. I'm just trying to surmise it. There was a lot of gameplay potential that you just don't have with the way Apex is.
You mean currently?
Currently, yes.
Yeah.
I mean, to the people who loves Apex, I just have a little message. That is a watered down Titanfall. Imagine how much you would have liked Titanfall if it was fully realized vision in a battle royale. Because Apex, if you like the watered down one, like if you like Diet Pepsi, wait till you try Pepsi.
That's an interesting analogy. I like it. By the way, I think I'm clipping that. Yeah, that's gonna be a highlight. That's gonna be a highlight. That's the advertisement reel for this episode right there. Okay. So our timeline is 2016 we get TF2. By that I mean Titanfall, not Team Fortress.
Yeah.
2019 we would have gotten Titanfall BR.
Yeah.
2020 it would have exploded because of the lockdown. 2021 or 2022, somewhere in there when the other battle royales F up, assuming they didn't join the F up parade, it would have seen another player bump. and then riding so high for so long. Correct me if I'm wrong here. Somewhere in 23 or 24, they would have started messing with the monetization, trying to bleed the stone, and have lost their casual audience. They would have lost
Yep.
everyone but the diehards.
Yep. Absolutely.
I think, yeah, I think that what if scenario is, I agree. Unfortunate as that is, like when we came up with this topics, and you can see how it started off. I was hopeful. I'm like, yeah, what if this was a BR, guys? And as we spoke, I'm like, this isn't looking good. This isn't sounding good.
This just became an EA and business conversation real quick.
Yeah.
It got dark real quick. Yeah. So here's my question. I know you're way over time.
No, we're not. We're on par.
Because of the rebirthing of Armored Core. Are they gonna go in that direction? Like I feel like there's an appetite for a mech game. And there still is, even though Armored Core exists. Hawkins still left a hole in and still today. So I'm wondering if there's either a mech battle royale or even a mech looter shooter. I don't care, co-op, whatever. I feel like there's a hole there that needs to be filled by somebody.
Well,
and do not quote this in okay, that came out wrong, but you know what I mean.
Yes. I don't think it's gonna happen, and only in the sense that like, okay, are there mech games? So I love Armored Core, and I love the fact that I think when did the last Mech Warrior game come out?
I think
it's not too long ago.
Yeah, it's not too long ago. And I think
right?
there was and is still MechWarrior Online. Online. Yeah. Why did I say it plural? MechWarrior Online.
I don't
know. MechWarrior 5 Clans came out October 2024. So MechWarrior still developed, but that now, what did it get? On Steam, it has a 3.5 out of 5. So not really the greatest MechWarrior.
Right.
Kind of average. To Avex, IGN gave it an 8 out of 10. To Avex's point, I think Avex is looking for the hit that everyone focuses on, and I think the last one that got significant attention was Armored Core.
Right.
And that wasn't that long ago either. What was that? Earlier in 2025? I could just look at it because we have this thing called the internet. And that got 90 ratings. No, that was 2023. Longer than I thought. 4.5 out of 5 on Steam. Where's IGN and the rest of them? Or at least a Metacritic. 90s here. It did well. Right?
Right.
Yeah, this could have been the de facto standard if it was the BR, right? Like everyone would look to this. I think it's a niche that does well if it's purely mechs.
Yeah.
But I think the on-foot shooting is what made Titanfall unique. A lot of other games that involve mechs, outside of the mech, like everything, if there is outside of the mech play, is just to get into the mech. Whereas Titanfall made it that, now you're this nimble, agile warrior, zip up onto your enemy's mech, either sabotage it or attach a bomb to it. Like you weren't defenseless without a mech. It just changed how you played, not that the fact that you can play.
And they feature all of those actually, to your point, back when E3 was a thing.
Remember that?
Titanfall was marketed for the Call of Duty player base. That trailer was particularly designed where, hey, if you thought, and back then this was Call of Duty when, it had a more conservative movement than even today. Like
Yeah.
slide was not even a thing back then in Call of Duty. So imagine now you can't even imagine without slide. Like in any first person has a slide. So at that time, Titanfall like, hey, you can slide, wall run, call in a mech, but also jump into like Reaper mentioned and do, and that was their answer. Like this is our Call of Duty. That was like EA's answer to Activision. And I'm amazed from then to now. It's like, okay, let this franchise die. Let's go to Apex. And let's like they're like DC. They changed their mind.
EA is like Warner Brothers. I'm tempted to look up their executive board and see how many of them have done a tenure at Warner Brothers.
Oh, and look up the thing.
Yeah, look at their LinkedIn profiles and see, like, oh, I see some cross
Hey everybody,
pollination.
this particular guy, his name is John Smith, whatever. This guy fucked all our dreams.
Oh,
That's
It
wow.
wouldn't surprise me.
nah, it wouldn't surprise me either. But
Yeah. For a time, I think the EA CEO was also the Microsoft Studio CEO. Did you?
was it?
Yeah, before Phil Spencer, the previous Microsoft, whoever that was a former CEO of EA.
That's
Yeah.
Nothing. Yeah, I think there was a lot of vitriol there. Like, yeah, people didn't like those dudes.
can't imagine why.
Hmm.
Yikes. So this got depressing.
I mean,
Whose idea was this? I think it was N2's. I think it was N2's idea.
What if this one? Yeah, that was this N2.
I think this was an N2 suggestion. It's not the therapy we needed, bro.
pretty
At
much.
all.
I mean, like on a higher note, I would say they still do. Uh, they still have there's enough franchises that they have. I would say Star Wars, where they can revitalize a proper BR, proper fun game. It's just it is really up to them to do it. Um, I mean, on the other side, I just don't see it because it's EA. But yeah, optimistically, I would hope that they stick to a franchise and hold on to it. I mean, what is it? Like, for instance, if if Ubisoft could hold on to For Honor, come on.
Hold on to what? Could you repeat that?
For
For
Honor.
Honor.
For Honor. Okay.
It's still being played now. Still. I can't think of a single person that plays it, but every once in a while I see clips of people playing it like, huh. And they're still putting out updates for that thing. Weird.
That's
To me.
strange to hear. Not entirely surprising, just strange to hear. I don't know. EA's just, hey, this is trending lower than we like. Kill it.
Kill it. That attitude has to stop.
Which makes me very surprised that they didn't kill Apex when it dropped low. It probably still hasn't reached whatever magical threshold number for them for saying this is dead in the water for them. And I don't even think it's something that goes into negatives. I think if you're just not making X amount of profit in whatever their fiscal year is, you get put on the schedule to get shut down.
Do you think they're naive enough to compare the stats to their sports game numbers? They're like, that's our
Yes.
base. If the other game's not doing it, it's automatically bad. I get the feeling they're doing that. They're all their measurements, the sports games setting the control number, if you will. And
Yeah.
if the others don't match it, you're just out.
Yep.
I I don't think it's exact numbers. I think it's percentages based off those numbers.
Right.
Because
Even that would be flawed. Like even if it's like,
yeah, like you
yeah.
must be making this percentage of a profit per X amount of whatever player base, and if you're not, then because these percentages are our measure of success. Hmm. I tried to make it better, and it still sounds like a bad idea.
Yep.
It still sounds bad. I. It's how is it we can't think of a good scenario in any of this, other than the fact that we would have just gotten more Titanfall. Like our fanboys, like, hey, we get more Titanfall. Oh, reality around everything
The
involving
way
it.
that everything works.
It's
Exactly.
going to be a
Yeah.
really expensive Titanfall, yes. But you will get it.
But did we want that though? Like this is one of those
Well,
things is where you say you want something and then somebody has to come in and check you and is like, are you sure that's what you want? Think about it. Like, did you really think about it?
mm,
And maybe for the purpose of nostalgia and how
yeah.
great I remember Titanfall, I'm perhaps just a small portion of me is happy that they didn't make it a BR because I think they would have tainted the name to me by now. Now that we've
Mm,
discussed everything that comes with
You know what's funny?
EA's
You mentioned
baggage.
that. Funny you mentioned that because to me that's Rainbow Six Siege right now.
mm.
Mm.
They ruined. I'm numb. I don't hate it, but I don't like it either. Like that's the worst thing is being having apathy. Like you just don't care.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
It's
I mean, yeah. That's kind of how I feel about COD in a sense. Just numb.
yeah. I right now, as even though Dade said you catch me playing it, I haven't really touched the game other than if a family member or a close friend says they want to play and that's they're hanging out in games in that, then I'll fire it up. But for me to even complete a battle pass or whatever, no,
Mm.
no. Do I want to sit here like even right now sitting here to think about even firing it up? No. The last thing they did, and I think it appealed to my nerd, is when they had the spawn outfits. It appealed to my nerd. I'm like, oh, I want those. I played, I got those, and then yeah, it was over after that. Oh, the Squid Games mode. That was fun with friends. Notice how I said that.
With friends.
If I didn't have any friends online to say, hey, we're doing Squid Games, I wasn't turning it on.
Look, man, watching a paint dry with friends is all.
Yeah,
It's just
it's fun with friends.
yeah,
You get to shoot the shit.
exactly.
Yeah, you got
Yeah,
to.
it's and I think that apathetic thing Abex is talking about, how I'm talking about COD now, is probably what if that said Titanfall with the line and it said BR, is how we would be discussing it right now. I have a strong feeling that's how all three of us would be talking about this. They'd be like, "Hey, we released a new Mech skin," and we'd be like, "And so, did you give us anything we actually really wanted?"
Want this balance changes? We wanted this. We wanted that.
Yeah, we probably would have been dogging it by
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
That's messed up to think about. Um, But on that somber note, we've established our what if timeline. It's not a sunny outlook, unfortunately. I think this is the first time where it's not a sunny outlook.
No.
I think our past two, we were like, oh, it would have been either a better gaming experience or a more interesting gaming experience with the other ones. This one is just no, don't. Matter of fact, you know what? You made the right move. Make it a different title. Leave our shit alone. Just
So
stay away from it. Give us Titanfall 3. How about that?
I will actually make it a little bit positive with the
Okay.
negative. Okay, so we don't leave on a low note.
Yeah.
Let's say all that happens, right?
Yeah.
I, you remember a time when after the first Left 4 Dead came out and Walking Dead was also kind of happening at the same time?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So we had a decade span of a lot of zombie-based video games, other people, not just Valve, just
Yeah.
happened, right? So I wonder if the success of a Titanfall BR would, you know, motivate non-EA and other publishers, even indie, to explore mech-based games. And to me, that would be a win. And out of, maybe 20 of them will suck, but if one or two of them end up being real good, that to me is okay. That's worth the. That's worth, you know,
Mm.
risking that stuff. So,
So you're saying
and
potentially they could have mech work and be like, let's make a BR. Let's give it a shot.
because yeah, but also like
Let's make a Gundam BR. Let's give it a
yeah,
shot.
I
Let's
don't.
make a.
Not that Killing Floor is great, but Killing Floor exists because Left 4 Dead exists,
True.
right? So that's what I mean. Like certain things has to happen for certain other things to happen. So
So it would have been the
um,
catalyst that spawned
yeah,
also
yeah.
Rans. I like that idea because I do like the big stompy robot idea, right? Um, yeah. I mean, they were messing around with a multiplayer Gundam. I remember playing the beta for that. If that was a BR, Gundam, the setting of Gundam, mind you, lends itself to battle royale better than most games because they're always in a war of some kind.
Yeah.
That literally legit could have been one map is inside a colony, another map is on a continent on Earth someplace. That could have been great. And Titanfall BR could have made Bandai Namco consider that.
Mm-hmm.
I see Ivex's point. I like it. I like
But
it.
think even bigger mechs. Think Voltron. Hey Avex, you be the legs. Hey Dave, you be
Ooh.
like we all. It's like five
Oh,
people controlling one thing.
Come on.
that would be like chained together the mech game where one person s up and the whole mech falls apart mid fight. Oh,
Right.
everybody's gonna
It
be
trips.
mad.
You're about
What?
to do a running V kick and it trips. You didn't do your
I
run.
could, I
Just
could see. And I know Lucky's there. I can see Lucky ejecting yourself, and we'll be the three-legged mech. We fuck.
Somehow her leg trips and fall into water for some reason, and then it happens.
oh, you're gonna get cussed at after this podcast, boy.
I
I
know I
know it's
am.
coming. I'm here for it. Lucky, you know where to find them. Yeah, yeah. I think Avex is right. The also rans just to see that would have been interesting because there's a lot of things we don't get because what was seen as one of the leaders in that market didn't make a move. There's no more vehicular combat games on the mainstream because the leader in that market hasn't made a move in what, a decade or more.
Yeah.
Um, we don't have highly destructible racing games much anymore because the leader in that one got saddled with Need for Speed and now is working on Battlefield. We know who that is.
Perhaps the conversation would be Need for Speed BR. Anyone?
They almost had that when you think about the layout of not this Need for Speed Heat.
Yeah.
There's 16 people driving around in an open world engaging in races. If
Now you're. You make me want to boot up Paradise City right now.
because I mentioned the crashing. Yeah, think about that,
Yeah,
right? They have not been allowed to make another Burnout because now you are the devs for Need for Speed.
that's
And
crazy.
now you can't make another Need for Speed because you are dedicated to wrapping up the next Battlefield. What?
What a
Mm,
jump. Yeah.
mm.
Makes me wonder if
Sad.
that other Need for Speed was rushed because they had to go do that. See, there's people right here.
Oh,
Burnout was
the
fire.
most recent one? Yeah.
Yeah. I'm
Yeah.
wondering if that was
I I,
hamstrung
I wouldn't
because of that.
surprise because given I'm the only one actually finished the story, and it's everything is the same. It's the
Mm.
skin of the previous game,
But
the
less.
same UI, the same UX, right? It's just they had another. Uh, Imagine a really shitty Fast and the Furious story, and that's what you had to.
That's one way to put it. The story wasn't as engaging, and the multiplayer was hamstrung. Like they didn't get a chance to finish it.
Well, yeah. Well, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, you're right.
To Dade's
I
point,
was going to defend
EA.
it. I can't.
You can't defend it. EA. That's
No. Yeah.
all right.
Sad.
So we have our what if. Folks, if you have any other what if scenarios you'd like to hear from us, drop them in the Discord, !Discord in the chat, or leave a comment on the YouTube video. This is going up on YouTube as well.
Yeah.
Um,
Mm-mm.
be sure to follow. Well, not follow. It's not follow over there. Sorry, that's my Twitch vernacular. Be sure to like and subscribe on YouTube. Our previous shows end up there. Polls every now and then going up there. Clips, highlights. So do check that out. I'm gonna drop you all the YouTube link right now. I'm gonna try to be a good promoter of this. We are also on Apple Podcasts. We are on Spotify. So you can find us around as I jack up this link spectacularly. I can't type today. This is terrible. On YouTube link is just fat fingering it, as Dade likes to say. So yeah, but post other what if and gaming related, please. Don't do the we've had people post like music related stuff and cool. Some of that does get my brain spinning, but it's not what we do. At least not on this show. It is what if gaming. There goes the YouTube link. Like, subscribe, check out the other videos. Episodes 1 and 2 are already up there. This is episode 3 will be going up there. But yeah, Apple Podcast, Spotify, YouTube, you can find us there. Leave commentary. We do see it. We do respond. And maybe your topic will be the next one. But clearly, we're gonna try and pick one more upbeat because Titanfall BR just made us all depressed.
Thanks, Lucky.
Okay, so with that being said, let me now take us elsewhere. But expect another one of these episodes 2 to 3 weeks from now. We're trying to keep consistent, once or twice a month. Dade likes to know in advance of the topics because somehow his OCD won't let him.
Research.
Yeah, he won't get on comms if he hasn't researched. Don't ask. I, that's that guy there, that logo without the cam this week. That's his issue. Y'all take that up with him.
Look, I like to know what I'm gonna talk about.
Games. We're gonna talk about games, bro. No, you don't agree? All right.
Like we could do a what if, um, what was it? ET for the Atari didn't suck.
Oof. That one starts off depressing.
And then it ends with a high note.
Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't end up in landfills across the globe.
Yeah.
There's a landfill of Atari cartridges someplace. Think about that for a second. They had enough to dump in a bruh.
In a Mexican landfill.
That's madness to think about.
Yeah. But, because of that, I think the Nintendo didn't, but they were going into another one. But yeah, a lot of things would have not started. But if it did, if it didn't fail, right, then what would have happened? But anyway, that's an interesting idea.
Yep, something to think about. All
Who
right.
you gonna rate out to?
I think Tiger Prime's
Somebody
online.
playing Apex?
You know? There's one person. No camera.
You lying?
Yeah. Well, one person in
You
my follow list. Let me
okay? Okay,
yeah.
okay, 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 okay. Woo. I'm like, yo, that game really fell the fuck off.
Let me see. Let me make sure this person isn't getting off.
Rising.
Wow. All right. But everyone, I'm Reaper PC. That's Data's Venom. That's been
Yo,
Point the Right Way. Avex with the gameplay. Um this has been another What If Gaming. Do be sure to check us out on every podcast. Well, not every. The top 3: Apple, YouTube, Spotify. Check us out there. We'll probably be expanding to more as time goes on. Like, comment, subscribe, and you can catch us live on my channels, twitch.tv/ReaperPC. And until the next time, we'll catch y'all later. Peace out, everybody.